Crystal Bodger here with Crystal's Clean Kitchen, where we help make clean eating a lifestyle. So we have kind of an interesting episode for you today. We are going to be making a no-noodle lasagna. Now, if you've been following kind of a healthier lifestyle for a while, you know that there's different options that people usually do instead of the noodles. They'll replace them with zucchini or maybe some cabbage. There's so many things that you can do nowadays. But I don't know about you, I personally don't love zucchini or cabbage in my lasagna. It just makes a different flavor that I don't care for. Well, a few years ago, I made a video called Crustless Pizza. You know, the best part of a pizza is the toppings, right? And so it's a whole pan of all of the toppings and you bake it in the oven, kind of like a pizza casserole or pizza hot dish. And this is kind of that same idea. Now, the best part of the lasagna is the filling and the layers. So this is going to be amazing. You guys, you have to do it. It's super quick to do. It's keto approved. It's low carb friendly. And it just takes a few minutes to whip together, way faster than a regular lasagna. So if you're tired at the end of your day at work, don't worry, this meal won't take very long. Thank you so much for watching. Do me a huge favor though and hit that like button. Here is all the ingredients that you are going to need. So we're gonna start by cooking up 2 pounds of some ground beef. Now I got this beef from Butcher Box, which if you don't know what that is a meat subscription service. And the link for this will be in my description because I love it so much and I'm super excited to use this meat in my meal today. Then we're gonna be doing a half of an onion. For our cheeses, I have some mild cheddar and some mozzarella. You can use any kind of mixture of cheese that you want, and you can also use the amount that you prefer. So I'm not going to give you an amount. I will probably be doing maybe 2 cups of each, but it's totally up to you what you prefer to do. And then I have some marinara sauce. You could also use just like a spaghetti sauce if you have that too. Any type of red sauce will work just fine. I'll be doing 1 egg, a container of some cottage cheese, and a container of some ricotta cheese. For our seasoning, I have some Italian seasoning, some black pepper, some garlic powder, and some onion powder. And I'll just be seasoning that kind of to taste. And then, last but not least, we have some Celtic sea salt. Now, if you don't know the health benefits of Celtic sea salt, it's so amazing. It has 82 essential minerals in this sea salt. Get a bag if you don't have it already. I will leave the link for that in the description as well because those minerals are super important for your body to have. So it's the best salt you can use. And then I'll be doing that Celtic sea salt with my hamburger and it's going to make it so much more flavorful too because Celtic sea salt is the best. Okay, let's get cooking. All right, so I put my meat on medium high. And I'm actually going to be adding the spices right away just because it's going to allow it to kind of meld into the flavors of the meat. Now, Celtic sea salt, like I said, is the key ingredient for this because it is going to make this so incredibly flavorful. Here's my garlic, lots of Italian seasoning, onion powder, and some pepper. And then you want to, of course, chop it up into really small pieces as it's cooking. Kind of mix it all up so that those spices can get in there. Then I'm going to quickly chop my onion and throw this in the same pan that has the hamburger. You can cut it in any kind of sizes that you want. I usually like to do mine pretty small so that people can't tell that there's onions in it. All right, so next we are going to be mixing our cheeses together. So I have my ricotta cheese. And I have my cottage cheese. Then we're going to add in our spices. I'm going to again do the black pepper, the onion powder, a little garlic, and some more Italian seasoning, and 1 egg. So a good thing about making this meal is that it's super easy to just put it into a couple smaller containers so that if you are super busy, you can put one in the freezer and have it at a later date. Next, we're gonna shred our cheeses. Now, it's so funny. I used to not know that you should just shred your own cheese. I would always buy shredded cheese. And then I was watching a chef, actually on YouTube, and she was explained why you should just shred your own. Shredded cheese that you buy from the store has a layer of cellulose over it, which is kind of like sawdust. So when it's done fresh, the cheese melts completely differently. And not only is it cheaper, but it also tastes way, way better. Now it is time to assemble. So we're gonna start by putting a layer of some sauce at the bottom. I'm gonna just make sure it's all over the bottom. Then we're gonna add a layer of meat. Now I am making this just like I would a lasagna. I'll add some of my ricotta and cottage cheese mixture. Now, when you take the noodles out of this, I mean, it is the same flavors. It's basically just a hot dish or a casserole, as some people say. Okay, so we've layered our first cheese mixture. Now I'm going to be adding in some of the mild cheddar. And if you guys aren't into tons and tons of cheese, that's totally fine. You can just put the whatever amount you prefer. Okay, now I'm gonna do a little bit more sauce. Now I don't want to do too much sauce on this pan because it will be super, super liquidy if I do. So I'm just gonna try to limit my sauce a little bit less than I would for a regular lasagna. Okay, now just like you would a lasagna, another meat layer. Now I mix my meat, like you saw, with the onion. It's going to give it a little bit more flavor by doing that. You could also do some fresh garlic in there too and kind of saute that in there. All right, another layer of this ricotta cheese mixed with cottage cheese. And all of the different spices that we used are going to make this taste so flavorful. One of my friends, I was telling her I was making this today, and she's like, so basically cheese? But as you can see, when you layer it like this is exactly like a lasagna, just a little different. Just with no noodles. Also going to add a little mozzarella to this layer. All right, some more sauce, not a ton. I needed this second can just a little. But sometimes when you buy bigger cans, that one big can might work too. This is the last layer, so I'm going to add the rest of the meat to this one, unless it's too much. Now remember what I said, you can make a couple of small batches of these, make all the ingredients, and then when you are portioning this out, just put it into a smaller container, a smaller glass container, and then you can have it for a few days at a time. That would work as well. And that would be really helpful for when you have to work a ton and you can just pull something out of the freezer. I'm using the rest of this mixture too. See how this just turned out to be such a perfect amount? I could have used a little bit more on that one, I suppose. Now I'm going to top it with my mozzarella cheese. I usually do mild cheddar in the layers mixed with just a little mozzarella, and then I do mozzarella mainly on the top to give it that really authentic lasagna feel. Now, if you are filling this super, super full, you could put a cookie sheet under it so that it doesn't leak all over your oven, or you could just fill it less full. That works too. You could also add some Italian seasoning on the top of this. That would be good also. All right, I'm going to be baking this in the oven at 350 degrees for about 45 minutes. Check it at the 45 minutes. You want it to be nice golden brown on the top, but technically you don't have to cook it longer than that if you don't want to. So I would say between 45 and 55 minutes, but just be keeping an eye on it. All right, so I would use a bowl if I was you. I did let this cool down. It is going to be a little juicy, obviously, because of the tomato sauce that's in there. Oh, look at that. Looks good. All right, so I let this cool down quite a bit. The kids came home from school and they are starving and they are so excited to do our taste test. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Oh man. This is good. Now, the more tomato sauce that you use, or the more marinara that you use, I should say, we'll make it more soupy. So if you want it to be less soupy, just use a little less tomato sauce. If you don't mind the soupiness, then that's totally fine. You guys, you liked it?
Yeah.
All right.
Why can't I
Well,
eat that?
you can finish this. That's fine. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to check out some of my other videos if you're interested in quick and easy suppers. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.